We just had a serious ass rainstorm come through here. It shredded everything, right? Almost. This is the lightning storm. You see the lightning over there? That's like the tail end of it. It just passed over us from this way to that way. It's headed towards East Mesa right now. We have a friend that lives like 25 miles east of us, and he just called and said they're just barely getting the front edge of it right now. It pounded us. It just ripped everything to shreds. The neighbors that live behind us over here, their roof leaked, and their place is all tore up. The power's out for miles. The whole county area, the power's out. That includes Yavapai County, Cochise County, Pinal County, which is Tucson. This storm just killed everything. I'm just recording the lightning right now because it's about all the light we could get. But yeah, oh, there was a good one. Oh, look at that one. You notice the airplanes are still taking off from Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, and nothing ever stops that thing from going. There's been like 40 airplanes taking off in the last hour. It's ever since the storm really stopped raining. Look at that lightning. That is so cool. It's about, I'd say it's about a good 5 or 8 miles to the northeast of us that way. That way's north right there. Right? Look at that one, babe. Some of these lightning strikes are bad right here. And that great big old giant cloud. But anyway, that's what it looked like here. You can't see nothing, but man, that storm is ripping. It's going to be like this for a little while. Thank you. Alright, this is the next morning. This is 2 blocks from our house. This is our friend of ours' house. Last night that big old storm came ripping through. It shredded the neighbor's tree over there. There. There's street, look at the street. There's water. The water was full all the way across, all the way up to the curbs, over all the way up. You can see where it was here. Right? The little eggplant's loving the rain. But it shredded stuff, it knocked things down. It moved one of the big tires from if it was laying on this one, it flipped it clean off. But here's the biggest part of the damage over here. Right? Right here, look. See this awning? It used to be up here. Ripped it clean off, flipped it into the garden. Alright. Luckily it didn't hurt anything, looks like. Alright. Blew down a bunch of stuff. Right? Oh man. Looks like the big gems and a couple of the molecules got ripped out of the ground. Alright. Our friend said this cinder block right here, this one right here, came flying from way over there and landed up here. He watched it fly across his window right there. Alright. Let's see. Alright, let's see what are we looking at here. Have on big gems and rip the big gems and the molecules up out of the ground. Alright. See, look, there's pulled the 2-inch lag bolts right out of the wall. Flips it right down into the ground. And that's a big, heavy metal framed awning right there. Took the 2 boards with it. Everything. Well, looks like we didn't sustain too much damage here. In the garden at least. Everything it's really soft and soggy. Alright. Flipped everything over. That was one heck of a storm. It lasted, the first wave of it lasted for like an hour and a half. It had raindrops, you know, that big around. Hailstones. I thought it was going to break our kitchen window. That was a real live Arizona monsoon. That's where we used to get them years ago. Now that we have all these buildings and all this concrete and stuff, right, it's very rare that we get a storm like that anymore. Right? But you notice everybody's all happy this morning, right? And saying doing good. Right? But Look at that. Bent that pole. Flapping the screen cover around. Look at that. Bent that pole. But yeah, that's the way we used to get them. Right now, we're lucky if we get one of those a year. Look at the hibiscus. He is just living large with all that nitrogen infused rainwater and the little basil. Ripped one of the branches off, looks like. But yeah, the neighbors, look at that. Broke the neighbor's tree. They had to get the chainsaw out and cut it down this morning. And that was a real live, really big mesquite. Alright. Yep, well. But anyways, to finish where I was going. Alright. The second wave of the storm lasted about 40 minutes, and that one was just as bad. I mean, the streets were all flooded, the power was out. According to APS's website this morning, there were 35,000 houses were without power from. And what this means is that, for those of you who don't know, from Central Avenue, which is about 2 miles that way, all the way down to like about 21st or 22nd Avenue, somewhere around there, from Indian School, maybe Thomas, which is Thomas is a mile and a half north of us, all the way down. A third of this city was without power last night. We're now like around 9:30. Didn't come back on until 1:14 a.m. Right, and ruined my friend's Windows computer because he didn't realize it, but it was turned on last night when the power went out. So he's got to redo that whole thing. But luckily, me and Margaret were at home, and when we lost our internet signal, I just shut it off because there was no sense in trying to do anything. And then 25 minutes later, the power went out. So our laptop was pretty safe. But anyways, what we had last night was a serious Category 4 monsoon. And man, it shredded things. You ought to see, the neighborhoods are done. But street lights are still out this morning. Circle K up here at 7th Avenue is still closed. And saying there's a lot of things that ain't happening this morning in Phoenix. And this is September 1st. Right? We finally had a monsoon. Finally.